Laser sights can deter threats and aid in quick target identification, enhancing your ability to protect your family, home, and country. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, another gun company has their sales blocked by Intuit. Plus, a world skeet shooting champion, a chance to direct federal funding to hunting and recreational shooting opportunities, and a lot more. So call in now at 866-TALK-GUN with your questions, comments, and range reports. And now, here's the star of the show, Tom Gresham.
Well, glad that you could be with us. I'm Tom Gresham. Yes, it is Gun Talk because we talk about guns every week right here on, right about 250 radio stations, plus the podcast, plus YouTube, plus all the other ways that we get our message out. I'm glad that you could be part of this. And that's one of the things I want to talk about. You are part of this. You are part of the show. You are part of the movement. You are part of the solution. It requires you to get involved. Well, to get involved in the radio show is easy. You just give me a call. We could give out all the numbers for the call-in number, but honestly, just dial this, Tom Talk Gun. It's easy. Tom Talk Gun. We're open lines right now, looking for your range reports. What have you been shooting? What would you like to go out to the range with, to shoot? Any stories about taking people out there? I will have some. Went out to kind of a range. Went out to a spot in the National Forest yesterday in the mountains here in Idaho. I'm spending a little time out in Idaho. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, 2 couples and me, had a ball, a bunch of guns. Everybody brought their guns. We tried a lot of them. I was able to give a few tips, but they didn't actually need much. Shot one gun that was really surprising in a good way, and I'll tell you a little bit about that because it was one of those, ooh, I like that one. Just having a ball out there, pretty day. Going out shooting, let's see, 2 men, 2 women, and me. The women are good shooters, very accomplished, serious about it. They do a lot of hiking out in the woods, and they carry their guns for bear protection as well as whatever else they need protection from out there. So that was kind of fun. We also are talking about one of the major stories, and you're going to want to hear about this. We're going to get to this pretty quickly. Intuit is a company they make QuickBooks and TurboTax. One of their big services is credit card processing. So if you're a merchant, you're a store, they process your credit card charges. Well, they have really ramped up something that appears to have started maybe 4 years ago now, and they are cutting off essentially anybody who sells guns. And it's really weird. I mean, and it's as though you're talking to the wall because they're saying, well, we can't be a part of internet sales of guns. Well, you go, well, that's not what's going on. They say, well, it has to be a face-to-face. Well, it is because that's what the law requires because you'll go to a dealer to get your gun. It's a mess. And it's not just that they're cutting them off. It's that they're essentially taking the money, in a sense. When you have been paid $150,000 by your customers, and then Intuit won't release the money, you can't get your money, and then they take the money that your customers have already paid, and they send it back, they charge it back, and put it back on the accounts of the people who's already spent the money. You've already provided the product. You've already provided the services. You provided the classes. That's gone. And they take your money and they send it back to the customer. Well, we're going to be talking with one of the companies that has been affected by this. It's happening, seems like it's happening more and more. Is it virtue signaling? Is it an echo of Operation Choke Point? Well, we'll talk about a lot of that. It's really quite something. 866-TALK-GUN is also the number here. Line 2, Justin has called in from Granite City, Illinois. Hey, Justin, what are you looking at here?
Well, I come across in my local gun shop, it's a 5.5-inch barrel. It's a Taylor model Ruger Super Blackhawk and 45 long Colt, Bisley grip with it's been case hardened bluing by Turnbull.
Yes.
Yes. And and right now I'm a 44 guy, but I've actually had an opportunity to speak with John Linebaugh, and I've read a lot of his stuff. And anything in North America, a hot 45 Colt will take. So
correct.
But I'm also looking at about a total of $1,500 investment between I cast my own bullets, reloading, building up, brass, and just the firearm itself. So I'm right there on the edge of the line of buying this thing. And, the way I'm looking at doing this is my 401k, right now I'm negative. So, everybody's losing money right now. And, if you take out a small loan from your 401k, you got to pay yourself back about 6%. So right out of the gate, I'm making money by spending it.
You're doing a better job than I could do in convincing yourself to buy this gun. You know that, don't you?
Yes. But I need somebody to say, you know what? It's okay if your wife gets mad because she'll forget it in a month anyway.
I just want to know where it is because I want to see if I can jump in right now and buy it online.
I'll push you over, big boy.
Well, for those who don't know, let's explain. First of all, you've got a Dealio, which is a distributor group, special edition Ruger Super Blackhawk. You've got the Bisley grip, which is very cool. A 5.5-inch barrel is a really neat, and I really like that barrel length. That's kind of special. But then you really sweeten the pot. When you put the Turnbull color case hardening on it, it becomes a different looking thing. I mean, it looks like a work of art. But to your point, it is a strong enough action that you can load that up pretty much as hot as you want. Don't be stupid. But with even a moderately, here's the thing I was going to mention to you. You don't have to go super magnum loads with a 45 Colt because if you're loading hard cast bullets, if you can push that bullet at even 800 to 900 feet per second, it'll go through an elk.
Yes.
So why worry?
And actually, right. And when I spoke with John Linebaugh, he said he was hunting bison, and he took a female at about 60, 70 yards with a 310 grain wide nose hard cast bullet, doing about 1,100 feet per second with a charge of H110, and it went through both shoulders. So
yes.
You can't beat that, and it's not going to beat the crap out of you. If you're hiking with it on your hip, it's only a couple pounds. It's a very packable firearm, and it's a lot easier to pick it up from the gun shop and put it in my lunchbox and hide it from the wife than a rifle is.
Well, here's the thing. I can help you with gun purchases. I can help you justify it any way you want. I cannot help you with the whole marital situation. So when you bring that gun home, when she finds out about it, I have no knowledge of this whatsoever. I was not a part of it. Do not call me.
Well, just don't tell anybody we had this conversation.
Right, just between me and you, as they say, right? That's Connie Chung. That was exactly.
You got it. Yeah.
I look, here's what I need you to do. After you bring it home tomorrow, because I hope that you don't wait because somebody else will grab it, send me a picture so we can put it on our Facebook page. And go over to our Facebook page and post a picture there because we want to see it. We want to see what we're talking about, okay?
Well, in the state of Illinois, I have some waiting I have to do, and I'll have to wait for the check to come in the mail. However, my gun shop likes me enough; they'll set it behind. So they've done some favors for me in the past.
You can even take a picture of it there in the gun store.
Okay. Well, I will. I'll try and get up there and get all that taken care of.
Hey, winner, chicken dinner, Justin. That is a great find. I think you're going to score big with that one.
I appreciate the confidence and that little arm twisting.
All right. Go get them for all of us. Thanks so much for the call. All right, 866-TALK-GUN or just dial me at Tom Talk Gun. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk.
Trust Inceptor ARX, preferred defense for your self-defense ammunition. It features patented technology and an advanced lead-free polymer copper material for unprecedented terminal performance. Its non-hollow point round nose design means it feeds flawlessly and won't plug or fail to transfer energy on impact. Lightweight projectiles reduce weight in your carry gun and add velocity to all loads and calibers. Inceptor ARX is available in all popular handgun calibers. Learn more at InceptorAmmo.com.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free, yes, a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, you know. You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or GunDealio.com.
Founded with the singular purpose of building fine sporting firearms, Kimber creates a handgun for every person and a rifle for every adventure. While embracing modern manufacturing techniques, every Kimber depends on practiced hands for assembly, fit, and finish. There's no compromise in features, materials, or performance. Synonymous with quality, precision, and excellence, and made in America. Kimber is what all guns should be. Visit KimberAmerica.com. That's KimberAmerica.com.
This is one of those, did that really happen? Did you see this video? It's a news story with a video, and so I am assuming that is true at this point, of the off-duty FBI agent dancing at a nightclub, and in the process of the dancing, and I guess the crowd has circled around him because he's going so crazy with his dancing, he does a backflip. His gun falls out. I'm not making it up now. It's like 2 in the morning, 1 or 2 in the morning. His gun falls out. He's carrying his gun. He's in the nightclub. He's basically breakdancing or he does a flip. Gun falls out, gets on the floor. He reaches down, and when he's picking it up, he inserts his finger in the trigger guard and pulls the trigger and thusly shoots another person in the bar in the leg. We are the only ones who should have firearms because we are trained. Yeah, no. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Line 1, George is in Oklahoma. Hey, George, I understand you've been working on this situation, this problem. What'd you come up with?
Well, my son and I had a couple of old holsters, and we just attached them to the console in the car. When you get in the car, you take your weapon out of your hip holster, put it in the console holster, and it's right there under your hand. Very easy to draw, and like I say, very accessible.
Because we were talking in a previous show about learning how to draw while you're seated in your car when you're wearing your gun. Let me ask you a question. When you're wearing your pistol normally, everyday carry, where do you carry it?
On my right hip.
Okay, just behind the point of the right hip, like 4 o'clock position?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, me too. All right. I do know people who take their gun out of their holster and put it in some other place when they get in their vehicle. There are a couple of reasons I don't like that. One of them is every time you handle your firearm, you insert an opportunity for something to go wrong. handling it, putting it in, the holster, take it out, putting it back in your holster. I mean, every time you handle it, you have the chance of a finger hitting the trigger, etc. But there's another point here, and I would throw this out for you. If something happens really fast and you need to get out of the car, there is the chance you're just going to go and leave it there if it's not on you. I always, in flying, when we fly the backcountry, we always say if it's not on you, you don't have it. I mean, physically on your person. You may have all the emergency gear in the world in the back of the plane, but once you go down and the plane burns up, whatever you have on you is what you're going to have. And I kind of think of it the same way. If it's physically not on your person, there's an opportunity for you to not have it. Having said that, it's not a bad solution to the challenge, and I applaud you guys for coming up with a way to do it. I would just encourage you to be like paranoid, not careful. Be careful to the point of being paranoid about when you handle your gun. You got to take it out of your holster, put it in the holster, on the console or someplace, and then take it back out of there and put it back in your holster. That's a lot of manipulation. So I would just ask you to please be careful.
Oh, like I say, I'm paranoid every time I handle it.
There you go. I like the guy that says, I know I'm paranoid. I just don't know if I'm paranoid enough.
Well, like I say, there is some advantage to reaching 81 years. You do get some wisdom out of life. That's
true. You can cash in some of that experience. Exactly right. George, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's an interesting solution, and it's going to work for a lot of people. So each of us has to kind of review that. Let's see. Frank's he's out of Cleveland, Texas. He's actually out of Oklahoma right now, but driving around Texas. Hey, Frank, on line 3.
Yeah, I traveled down through Georgia and Louisiana and Alabama and I booked rooms online, never thought anything about it. And I booked one in Texas, which you'd think would be friendly, and it was non-refundable, and got there and they had them signs up saying no.
Oh, they had the 30-06 and the 30-07 signs that Texas has on the door. So what'd you do?
Throwed it in my backpack, kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, you did like everybody else does and just ignore it and say, look, you know what? If they find out about it, it's because I had to use it, and if I have to use it, I don't care about their silly policy. So just there it is. Having said that, though, here's one of the things I would do. When I checked out, I would ask to speak to the manager, and I would just say, I travel a lot, and just want you to know I will not be coming back to your place because you have a problem here. I don't feel welcome, and then explain it. I wouldn't be mad or anything else. Just say, I don't feel welcome here. I always have my self-protection firearm with me, and the fact that you've just chosen to put these signs up, they won't keep any bad people out, but they're going to keep customers like me out. And I think it's important for us to, every time this happens, to ask for the manager and tell them, just so that you know, I will not be a return customer here because of this.
I'm going to call them back because the manager wasn't there, but in the future, I'm going to call before I book a room from now on and check if they're gun friendly.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Actually, it's weird you mentioned it. I was going to Austin 6 months ago and had actually booked a room at a place. And then I thought about it, and I just went online and did a little Google search and said, sure enough, somebody said, yeah, they've got the sign. So I called them. And they say, yeah, we do have the signs up. And I said, well, I can't stay there. They said, what? I said, well, I don't stay any place where I can't have my self-protection with me. And you won't provide for my protection or my family's protection. So therefore, I have to cancel the room. And they said, well, it's non-refundable. I said, oh, no, we're not doing that. I said, you're going to refund us because, nowhere on your website. And I want to say in Texas, there is a state law that requires them to list on their website if that's their policy. And I said, you don't have that on your website? And they said, yeah, you're right. And they refunded the money. So if somebody in Texas can help me out with that, though, and I appreciate the call, Frank. Somebody help me out if you're in Texas. I think I remember that there is a law that was passed in the legislature that says if you are a hotel motel and you have a gun-free policy, it has to be stated on the website when you're booking so that people can know in advance, so they don't do like I did almost, and like Frank did, show up there and you got and it's a legal sign on the side of the door, next to the door, and they call it the 30-06 for concealed carry and 30-07 for open carry in Texas. It says no guns in here, so. Let's talk to Evan on line 4 in Shreveport. Evan, I got about a minute, so dive in, please.
Well, I'm a California guy, and the gun laws are, what they are. And I'm in Shreveport for a while. I want to pick up an AR. I have a couple AKs, so I like the 30 caliber or larger. I cannot do 223. Atlantic Arms makes a Beowulf 50 caliber AR. I'm trying to figure out a reason that I would not want that gun.
I can't think of a reason. If you like the idea of it on the first, right off the bat, then that tells you that you absolutely positively need that rifle. And the 50 Beowulf is pretty awesome. It's kind of like dropping a gun safe on something. It just falls down.
Okay. All right. All of that's a plus, so you're doing a terrible job of talking me out of it.
Yeah, you didn't call me for that, did you?
Sure I did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure you did. Wink, wink. Yeah, we understand. No, seriously, that is an awesome cartridge. And now here's the question. Are you going to have to leave it somewhere? Can you take that back to California? Or how are you going to handle that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I will take it back to California.
All right. Well, good thing. I don't know who you are, and we never had this conversation.
Oh, absolutely not. And Evan, of course, is my name, but or not. I just wasn't sure if that was the best way to go with a large caliber. I want a 15, not an AR-10. I like guns, but I don't shoot a ton. So I know the 50, that's an expensive cartridge. I'm not going to run 100 rounds a month through it. So it's not that's going to be an issue. If you were going to go a large caliber AR in the 15 size receiver, is that a cartridge you would go with?
It's one I would have on my short list, and the fact that you have already expressed an interest in it tells me that you've done your research. Look, man, here's the deal. Bottom line, buy it, enjoy it, have a bunch of fun, shoot big bullets, which is always the fun deal. Hey, thanks for the call. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about this incredible story of Intuit with their credit card processing, cutting off outfits that sell not just guns, but if you sell guns, they will refuse to process hats, T-shirts, anything else. It's getting to be insane out there. We're going to find out if there's something maybe we can do to help.
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
Well, it's happened again. The folks at Intuit, makers of QuickBooks and TurboTax, and of course credit card processing services, have what I consider, I would be personal on me, okay, but I would say they're acting in an unscrupulous manner. Joining me to talk about their latest effort and what they're doing in terms of, essentially, I would call it an assault on your rights and on the firearms industry. Gary Ramey joins us from Honor Defense, a U.S.-based firearms manufacturer. Hey, Gary.
Hey, good morning, Tom. How are you today?
I am well. For those who don't know, give us the quick version of Honor Defense.
Oh, well, thanks, Tom. We are focused on the consumer concealed carry market with single-stack 9s, 100% American parts and materials, every firearm assembled by a veteran. And we've been very blessed. In 2 years, we've gone from being the smallest semi-automatic company in America, which is about 580 or so of us. We were tied for dead last at about 580. And in our first year, we climbed to top 25. So,
all right.
Had a lot of help. Yeah, thank you. We've had a lot of help along the way, and lots of support from the industry. So we've been very, very blessed.
So people can take a look at it at honordefense.com. So what happened with the Intuit deal? What's the story here?
Well, Tom, actually, we've had two instances of this. The first one was from Stripe, which does the credit card processing for GoDaddy. And they sent us a notice last August and said, you're a firearms company, and therefore we will not process any credit cards for you. And we even offered to take guns off our website and just sell the hats and the T-shirts and everything else. And we literally have it in writing from them that says these regulations come from our banking partners. So we have no flexibility. So we had to pull down our website within 10 days, pull down our website, build a brand new one, and create a brand new store using WordPress and WooCommerce to get back to being able to sell things online.
So it was Stripe who said this is coming from their bank?
Yes, we have it in writing from them that it's coming directly from their bank. So that was the first instance. Yeah, that was the first instance. And you know what, Tom? You press forward. You go, okay, we're going to get through this. You get a new website up, and you just kind of move on. But then it happened with Intuit, where we got a notification. And this is the really sad part. It is an assault on Second Amendment rights, and they will not allow us to process a credit card by keystroking it in. So if a dealer wants to buy something from us, a dealer we haven't worked with before, and they say, here's my credit card, we can't accept an order from them. It's crazy.
And let me just make sure everybody understands, because one of the things they say was, well, it's not a face-to-face purchase. And you're going, well, in your case, you're just selling to a licensed, regulated firearms dealer. And if it's a firearm they're concerned with, that obviously has to be a face-to-face purchase at a dealer somewhere with a NICS check involved.
Correct.
So, but their thing is, if you're not there to physically swipe the card, then they won't allow it.
Correct. They will not allow a dealer to purchase from us because we don't sell retail.
Right.
A dealer will call up and try an order. So that is the irony of it all. We're a federally licensed manufacturer that wants to ship to another federally licensed retailer, and they won't allow it because we can't see that dealer face-to-face. So it's crazy.
Now, what's interesting is that Intuit, they're trying to have it both ways. On one hand, they're saying, well, our banks require this. But on the other hand, they won't tell you who the banks are because the banks, there are some restrictions on what the banks can do in terms of restricting trade. And so we actually have one state attorney general looked into it and says, well, Intuit is not actually a financial institution. Their banks are because the banks are restricted, but Intuit is not. So you've got basically a rope-a-dope, or they're pointing at each other on the deal, and we can't track down who's actually doing this.
Correct. And I believe that state is Georgia, where we're located, because Georgia has a Firearms Industry Non-Discrimination Act. And so we filed a complaint with the Attorney General's office in both situations, and that was their response, that they are considered non-depository institutions, not financial institutions, even though, as we all know, they reverse charges on Gunsight Academy, and they've done the same thing to us. So they're able to cancel transactions and but not be considered a financial institution.
All right. Let me make sure people understand what you just said. You sold a product. Somebody paid you for a product. Intuit credit card processing is the middle company, the middleman on the deal. But the customer has already paid for the product. You just haven't taken the money out of the account yet. It hasn't been transferred to your bank. And Intuit decides, well, you know what? We don't like that. So they take what is now your money and send it back to the person who paid for it. So now the person has the product and the money.
Correct.
Seems like now, in any other form, that to me would be theft. In fact, it would be felony theft.
I couldn't agree more.
So where do we go from here? I know there's talk about going to Congress to look into this, to see if there's something. What are you hearing?
Yeah, we've heard the same thing. I think National Shooting Sports Foundation is trying to bring this issue to light on a federal level. So we're hoping that they do that. And in Georgia, frankly, we have a fairly conservative attorney general's office that's not taking action, which is disappointing. And so we've reached out to our legislators because I'm not sure they anticipated the discrimination to be directed by the bank through other financial organizations.
Well, here's the other thing I would offer, and I'm sure you're up on this. The Attorney General's office is a political office. I know they handle legal matters, but when they feel the heat, they see the light. It's time to turn up the heat.
Couldn't agree more. And Tom, it's interesting because high quality and broad shows like yours have noticed this. The Associated Press reached out to us to do an article on it. I think everyone at the very gut level believes this is wrong. And so we agree with you. We're trying to turn up the heat. We've written letters to our legislators, have not heard back yet, but we're not going to give up.
Well, and this is a place where instead of having one company saying, hey, look what happened to us, if you have 10,000 people, voters in Georgia contacting the Attorney General's office and their legislators, and it's not difficult to manage to get 10,000 people to do that, then all of a sudden they're going, what just happened? Something just blew up. We didn't think this was a big deal. This was just a small company in Georgia. We could ignore it. And all of a sudden they're just getting hammered and the phones are melting down and the emails are filling up the boxes and they're going, well, let's go take another look at this thing. That's what I mean by turning up the heat.
Yep, I agree with you.
Georgia-based gun owner organizations, whether it's Georgia Carry or any other group or NRA affiliates or local groups or sportsmen's clubs or hunting clubs, they all need to get on board on this and say, we're not going to put up with this. We're not going to allow ourselves to be marginalized and made second-class citizens.
Agreed. And this, we just got turned down by the Attorney General to even pursue it on Friday. We had a conversation with him. So we're trying to get organized and start to rally some troops.
Of course, I am hearing about a lot of people who are notifying Intuit and saying, I am dropping QuickBooks, I'm not using TurboTax, I won't be using any of your products anymore. And that's a natural reaction. I can certainly understand that.
Yeah, I can as well. Well,
Gary, would you do me a favor? Keep me posted on the progress on this, if there's any progress. And I'd like to ask everybody else to kind of put an ear to the ground and listen, because I'm hearing of other companies selling not just guns, but as you say, T-shirts, hats, anything else. If you also sell guns, they're cutting them off. And what they're trying to do, make no mistake, this is an attempt to destroy the firearms industry. Gary, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We will check in with you later.
Thank you, Tom.
This is it's an extension, if you will, of the lawsuits that the cities filed against the firearms industry back 25 years ago. And their stated goal was to destroy the firearms industry. And I think this is simply a continuation of that. And they're saying, oh, look, here's another avenue. Do not for a minute think that this is not going on. Somebody's coming in the back door and whispering to them, whether it's a Bloomberg or Cuomo or somebody. And Cuomo's even out. He's just out there saying, we need to cut off financial services to the gun companies. Yeah, that's what he's the governor telling us that. 866-TALK-GUN, or just call me at Tom Talk Gun. Be right back.
I spy a black pickup truck. Oh, come on. How about something a little easier? Okay, I spy error-free forms, fast ATF processing, a 90-day money-back guarantee, and the largest inventory in the industry. I spy Powered By. That's right. With over 300 Powered By Silencer Shop retailers nationwide, there's always one close by. Is that easy enough for you? Ha! Almost too easy. Demand Powered By. Shop our industry-leading inventory at silencershop.com.
Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. The time is now to band together. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
It's really pretty simple. Your carry gun is a life-saving device. It must be with you. That's what the Springfield Armory XDS is all about. Small enough to carry, big enough to shoot comfortably, shockingly slim, single stack, with a 3.3-inch or 4-inch barrel, available in 9, 40, or 45. Highly accurate, great trigger, fiber optic front sight for fast aimed fire. The XDS at springfield-armory.com. That's springfield-armory.com.
All right, got to do some shooting this week. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But first, I'm going to talk with James on line 3. He's out of DeKalb, Texas. James, you got an answer for me. What's the deal with Texas and hotel websites and notification about no guns free zones or that whole deal?
Well, Texas has got some unique things in the, those signs you see by the door under the Texas Penal Code, the requirement for those, but they bury this in the Texas Occupations Code, which is 2155.103, and they say that hotels that are going to enforce that have to put that on their website. There's that mentioned in the law under the Occupations Code. There's another unique thing about Texas, and Texas considers a hotel room to be a temporary residence. So
really?
You have not committed a criminal offense if you carry into your hotel room, but the only recourse that the property owner has if they discover you is to ban you from the property, and that's the end of it.
So it's not actually a criminal offense.
It's they consider it a temporary residence. So you haven't committed the criminal offense if you carry it into your hotel room. But if the property owner finds out about it, then they can ban you from the property like they would somebody for, no trespassing or something like that.
Sure. Well, that kind of goes to one of the things I guess we should say it. We shouldn't have to. When you're in your hotel room and you leave, don't leave ammo or guns or holsters or other shooting gear out where housekeeping can see them, for heaven's sakes.
That's right.
Be smart about it. Don't advertise. Obviously you got that one factor. You got theft as another factor. Just be smart about the whole deal. Well, I appreciate that. That's very interesting. So in Texas, hotels that put up these signs are required by law to have that information available on their website. And obviously the goal there, I'm thinking, James, is that so you and I would know in advance that we could run into this issue so we can factor that in when we're choosing where we want to stay.
That's true. And like I said, this is not under the concealed carry part of the penal code. It's under the Texas Occupations Code dealing with hotels.
I knew there was something there. I didn't know where it was residing, but I remembered somebody telling me, and I think it was probably somebody like you who knows the codes there and called into the show saying, no, they're required to let you know on their websites. And that's why when I booked a room at this place in Austin, when I discovered they had the no gun signs, I just contacted them and said, you're actually in violation of Texas occupational code on this. And they went, oh, yeah, okay, you get your money back. So there you go. Look, thank you so much. We all get by with a little help from our friends, and that's exactly what I needed. I appreciate that, sir. Miguel, don't go anywhere. We're going to get to you. We don't have time. We're going to hit this break in just a second. I went out and did some shooting this week with some friends, actually yesterday, and we're trying different guns. And one of the guys had a SIG P938, the little tiny miniaturized 1911 and 9mm. And I said, can I shoot that? And I got to tell you, it's just one of those moments. I shot the smallest group, 10 yards, probably a 2-inch group with the whole magazine. And it's one of those deals that once you do it, you go, all right, just put it down. Don't pick up another gun. Don't shoot anything else. Just act like, oh, yeah, I always do that. That's just natural. Home run, you're batting 1,000, you got to know when to quit. It was fun. It is a really nice pistol, I got to say that. And when other people tried it, they went, oh, I said, yeah, that's what a single-action trigger feels like. That's why we like them so much. They're shootable. And he went, yeah, I really like this. I said, yeah, we have for 100 years. 866-TALK-GUN. All right, back with you. 866-TALK-GUN. Get you in. Line 2, Miguel is with us somewhere driving around Colorado. Hey, Miguel, you're on Gun Talk. Go for it.
Hey, yeah, that Intuit thing is garbage. They can lay all the blame on their banks if they want, but they're making the choice to give money back, steal money from companies. But more importantly, my wife and I, we're extremely patriotic, overly, if there's such a thing. We got married last Independence Day, and like most married men, I looked at the list on what you get for your wife for anniversary, and it said paper for the first year. So as I told the guy I was talking to before, I guess I'm going to have to get some paper targets because I got her the PS90, the civilian version, single shot of the P90. Yeah, and I'm excited about it because I've never fired it. I never even opened it, took it out of the box yet. But got 6 mags, 700 rounds. I feel I should test it out with at least 600 of those before I give it to her.
Yeah, it is a fun sub gun, but it's semi-auto. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I am so excited. Just the look of it, is just. I use it in every shooter video game I've ever played.
So how can I help you?
What do I do next year? How do I top that? She loves ARs, but
well, let me ask you this: does she know that you're getting the PS90?
No, she does not. I'm giving it to her probably early, just so she has it for home protection because I'm gone 20 days out of the month. So,
does she like to shoot?
Yeah, she's shot AR-15s a lot. She's good, and I think. I love the fact that there's 50-round mags, so if she happens to miss an intruder or whatever, she's got a whole bunch of tracks.
I got it. I got next year's gift for you already. Okay.
All right.
She likes to shoot ARs. You like to shoot ARs. An AR class.
Oh.
A full-blown 3 to 5 day class on tactical use of ARs. You would both love it. You would really, both of you would benefit hugely from it. It would be like the ultimate cool trip together, whether it's at Gunsight or some other place. But there are a lot of places that have good, not a one-day class, at least 2 days, and better if it's 3 or more. That's when you're really going to get a lot out of it. But yeah, definitely, I think from what you're telling me, a really good class. It's also called Urban Rifle some places. But you guys would love that. Where do you live?
We live in Safford, Arizona right now. So,
if you're in Arizona, man, you're home free. You got Gunsight just up the road from you. Just drive north about 90 minutes.
Yeah, there's a little range nearby, too, but we're in the desert. When we use a range, just go anywhere, I guess. But
No. You're not hearing me. Gunsight is the only place for you to go.
Oh.
It is the world's foremost firearms training facility. It's in Paulden, Arizona. It's where you go for this class. Forget anything else because you're there, because it's there. Book the class, get it locked in for the both of you. It's not cheap, but it's worth every penny. GUNSITE.com. This is the home run. You're going to do that. You're going to score big this year. And next year, you're going to hit the home run out of the park. Look, I wish you luck with it. It's a great idea. I hope she loves that rifle as much as you do. The PS90 is a hoot. I actually got to shoot one of those in the full auto version. Ooh, man, is that fun. We were having such a ball with that. It is, you like all guns, but some of them are just kind of, Can't have one, but you get the semi-auto version, FN PS90. Shoots at 5.7 cartridge. Very cool. Tell you what, when we come back, we're going to be talking about another type of shooting. How about Olympic and competition shooting with a true champion? I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk.